My name is Emily Johnson. I'm 78 years old, and I used to run a small bakery in a quiet neighborhood of Chicago for 40 years. Now I'm retired and live alone. Every morning at 5 a.m., I would get up and take a shower. It was my daily ritual. Growing up, I was taught that staying clean is a person's duty, so I never missed a day. My day always started with a shower. Warm water to wash my body, lathering soap to scrub my skin, and shampooing my hair daily. Even if I felt unwell or had no plans to go out, I stuck to this habit. "Emily, you're so disciplined," my neighbors often said, and I took it as a compliment. To me, cleanliness was a virtue. One morning after finishing my usual shower, I stepped out of the bathroom and suddenly felt dizzy. The room spun, and before I knew it, my legs gave out, and I fell onto the bath mat. Luckily, I didn't suffer any serious injuries, but I hit my hip pretty hard. "I'm okay," I told myself as I crawled back to bed, but the dizziness wouldn't stop. This had never happened before. Why would I feel so unwell after a shower? I couldn't make sense of it. That day, I struggled with dizziness and mild pain. When I didn't feel better the next day, I decided to see my doctor, Dr. Laura Bennett. Dr. Laura Bennett has been my family physician for years, and she greeted me with her usual warm smile when I entered her office. I explained my symptoms and told her about the incident in the bathroom. "Is this the first time you've had dizziness or unsteadiness?" she asked. "Yes. Yesterday was the first time," I replied. "Any changes in your daily routine?" "None. I stick to the same routine every day." After running some tests, Dr. Bennett asked an unexpected question. "Emily, how often do you shower?" "Every day," I said. "Always in the morning?" "Every day, with hot water and for a long time." "About 20 minutes, I think. I've always believed it's necessary to stay clean." Dr. Bennett's expression turned thoughtful. She took my hand and said, "Emily, as we age, daily showers can actually put stress on the body, especially long, hot showers. They can cause blood pressure fluctuations and even lead to dizziness." I was shocked. I had never heard that keeping clean could be harmful. But if I don't shower daily, won't I become unclean? Dr. Bennett shook her head gently. "Not at all. Listen carefully to what I'm about to explain." Her words made me question the cleanliness habits I'd believed in my whole life. Dr. Bennett explained that, as we age, our skin's ability to regenerate slows and oil production decreases. Daily hot showers can strip away essential oils, leaving skin dry and sensitive. "Look at your skin, Emily," she said, pointing to my arm. I had noticed my skin was dry and itchy lately, but I never connected it to my showers. "But, doctor, doesn't staying clean prevent illness?" I asked, feeling anxious. "Of course, cleanliness is important," she replied. "Cleanliness is important," she replied. "But excessive cleanliness can sometimes do more harm than good. For seniors whose skin is more fragile, daily hot showers can damage the skin's protective barrier." I couldn't believe it. I'd been taught since childhood to bathe every day, and now I was being told it could be bad for me. My mind understood, but my heart struggled to accept it. "So, what should I do?" I asked. "Try reducing how often you shower," Dr. Bennett suggested. "Maybe every other day and keep it short, about 5 minutes, before bed. Use lukewarm water and wash gently without scrubbing." Leaving the office, I felt conflicted. Could I really change a habit I'd followed for 78 years? But the fear of that dizzy spell was something I never wanted to experience again. That evening, while watching TV, I came across a program about skin issues in seniors. An expert explained that bathing habits from youth can backfire as we age, and I felt even more shaken. The next morning, my body instinctively moved toward the bathroom for a shower, but Dr. Bennett's words stopped me. It took me 10 minutes of hesitation to decide to skip it. That showerless morning felt unsettling, like I'd forgotten something important. My skin felt slightly itchy. My hair seemed greasy, and I was consumed with anxiety. At the grocery store that afternoon, I ran into my neighbor, Margaret Wilson, who's 83 and always full of energy. I couldn't help but ask, "Margaret, do you bathe every day?" She laughed. "What a random question, Emily." "Lately, I've been doing it every other day. My stamina's not what it used to be, and in winter it's too drying." I was surprised. Margaret always looks clean and smells pleasant, yet she doesn't bathe daily. "Doesn't that make you feel unclean?" I asked. "Not at all," she said. "My skin actually feels better. My dermatologist told me seniors don't need to bathe daily. I just wipe my face and key areas with a washcloth. On my way home, I asked another friend, Susan Davis, the same question. To my surprise, she said, I'm down to every 3 days now. But you always look so clean, I exclaimed. Thanks, Susan said. I used to struggle with dry skin, but my daughter convinced me to cut back on showers. At first, I resisted, but it's been great. That evening, I stood in front of the mirror and examined my skin. It was dry and slightly red. Could this really be from daily showers? That night, I made a big decision. I'd try reducing my shower frequency. Changing a 78-year habit felt daunting, but for my health, it was worth a try. The next morning, I woke up with the thought, today's my first no-shower day. It took effort to stop myself from heading to the bathroom. Instead, I washed my face with lukewarm water and gently wiped my underarms and neck with a washcloth. Still, I felt incomplete, worried I wasn't clean. All day, I wondered if people would notice. Growing up, I believed I had to be perfectly clean in public, and that belief was hard to shake. That afternoon, I called Dr. Bennett. Doctor, it's my first no-shower day, and I'm so anxious. That's normal, Emily, she said. It's a big change. Your body will adjust. You can clean specific areas as needed. Reducing showers doesn't mean being unclean. Her words reassured me, but I wasn't fully convinced. The next day was a shower day. I kept it short, used lukewarm water, and skipped shampoo, following Dr. Bennett's advice of shampooing every 3 days. The third day was another no-shower day, and it felt a bit easier, though I still felt guilty when I ran into my neighbor, Tom Harris, in the elevator. I almost blurted out, I didn't shower today. After a week, I noticed changes. My itching decreased, and my skin's dryness improved. The dryness on my arms and legs, which had bothered me, was less noticeable. Even more surprising, my morning dizziness and lightheadedness decreased. Maybe the shorter, cooler showers were less taxing on my body. Just as I started to believe this might work, my daughter, Sarah, dropped by unexpectedly. She usually visits once a month, but this was unplanned. Mom, you look good, she said, staring at my face. Your skin looks great. I was taken aback. I hadn't told her about changing my shower habits. It felt embarrassing to admit that I, who always insisted on daily showers, was now doing it less. But Sarah noticed. Mom, what's different? You seem more vibrant. Her keen observation made me decide to open up. I told her about Dr. Bennett's advice, my friends' experiences, and the changes I'd noticed. To my surprise, Sarah said, I've been thinking about the same thing. My hairstylist told me not to shampoo daily in winter, but I didn't bring it up because you always stressed cleanliness. We laughed. Both of us had been hesitant to talk about it. It's amazing you changed such a big habit, Mom, Sarah said. Her words gave me confidence. At 78, I could still learn and grow. That night, lying in bed, I reflected. The meaning of cleanliness was shifting. Instead of the rigorous daily washing of my youth, I was learning to maintain hygiene while preserving my skin's natural oils. The next day, I planned to join a morning exercise group at the local park. Moving my body felt important for my health. When I woke up, I felt lighter. At 6:30 a.m., instead of showering and preparing breakfast, I washed my face, wiped my neck and underarms, and headed to the park. About 20 seniors were already gathered, many familiar faces from my bakery days. Emily, it's been a while, Margaret called out. Afterward, Margaret, Susan, and I sat on a park bench, sipping tea from a thermos. You seem more energetic, Emily, Susan said. Hesitating, I shared. I stopped showering every day. They were surprised, but supportive. I told you I don't shower daily either, Susan said. But for you to do it, Emily, that's unexpected. You're such a perfectionist. We laughed, and others joined us, sharing habits they'd changed with age, cutting back on sweets, avoiding late-night eating, or carrying lighter bags. My shower story came up, and to my surprise, others admitted doing the same but had been too shy to say so. We need to talk about this more, Margaret said. Young people don't understand what it's like to adapt as we age. Everyone nodded. From that day, our exercise group became a space for sharing health tips, recipes, and hygiene advice. A month later, my life had transformed. I showered 3 to 4 times a week, using partial washing on other days. My fears of being unclean faded and my health improved. Dizziness disappeared, my skin was less dry, and I had more time for other activities. One morning, Dr. Bennett called. "Emily, how are you feeling?" "Thanks to you, I'm doing great," I said. "My skin's better, and the dizziness is gone." "That's wonderful," she said. "I'm hosting a talk at the community center next week on senior health and hygiene. Would you share your experience?" I was stunned. Speaking in public? I'd run a bakery, but talking about personal habits felt daunting. "Me?" I asked. "Your story could inspire others," she said. "Changing a lifelong habit takes courage." After thinking it over, I agreed. If my experience could help someone, it was worth overcoming my nerves. Preparing for the talk, I realized I had a lot to say. The difference between youthful and senior hygiene, and the insights gained from changing habits. As the day approached, I grew anxious. Would people care? The night before, Sarah called, nervous about tomorrow. "Very," I admitted. "You'll be great, Mom. Your story will resonate." Her encouragement helped. At the community center, over 50 people, mostly seniors, but some middle-aged caregivers, filled the room. Dr. Bennett explained the science of aging skin, then introduced me. My heart raced, but I took a deep breath and started. "I'm Emily Johnson, 78 years old. I used to believe daily showers were a must. I shared my dizziness scare, Dr. Bennett's advice, my friends' stories, and the gradual changes I made. As I spoke, my nerves faded. People nodded, some whispering, 'I get it.' I ended by saying, 'Cleanliness changes with age. Listening to our bodies is what matters.' The applause was overwhelming. During the Q&A, people asked about specific hygiene practices, family reactions, and other habit changes. I was amazed how many shared my struggles. Afterward, several thanked me, saying they felt inspired to try it. One woman admitted she'd been too embarrassed to admit she'd cut back on showers. Walking home with Sarah, she said, "Mom, you were amazing." Everyone was captivated. Her pride made me feel accomplished. That night I reflected. My talk wasn't just about showering. It was about the courage to rethink beliefs. Aging means adapting, not compromising. A week later, my routine shifted again. Some attendees asked to exchange contacts, and we started a senior wisdom group chat with about 10 members. We share everything from meals to health tips. Dr. Bennett called with more news. Other communities wanted me to speak. "Your story resonates, Emily," she said. I agreed to help, but I wanted to expand my talk. I'd switched to gentler soap, started using moisturizer. Thanks to Margaret's recommendation, cut shampooing to twice a week, and used dry shampoo. I also made morning exercise and walks a habit. These changes weren't just about showers. They were about rethinking self-care. At the next talk with 70 attendees, I shared these updates confidently. Caregivers asked how to advise their parents, and I suggested small steps like cooler, shorter baths. A woman approached me afterward, saying her 93-year-old mother struggled with skin issues but insisted on daily baths. "I'll try your suggestions," she said. Dr. Bennett later told me a local senior welfare group wanted to include my story in a health guidebook. "I'm happy to help," I said, amazed at the impact. The guidebook project was new territory. I'd written bakery signs, but never a personal narrative. Titled Senior Hygiene and Health Tips, it covered shower frequency, gentle soaps, moisturizing, and clothing choices. Things I wish I'd known earlier. Dr. Bennett praised its authenticity. That afternoon, my grandson Ethan, a college student, called. "Grandma, I heard you're speaking and writing guidebooks." "I'm as surprised as you are," I said. He hesitated, then asked, "Can I interview you for a college paper on quality of life and aging?" I was floored. "Of course," when Ethan visited. His thoughtful questions made me reflect. "Was it hard to change your habits?" "Very," I said. Cleanliness was my identity. But dizziness was a wake-up call, and friends and Dr. Bennett helped me. Ethan noted, "Seniors are more adaptable than people think." His perspective was eye-opening. Our chat turned to the senior wisdom group, and he said, "That's like my college clubs. You guys have your own community. After he left, I realized my life had transformed. Exercise, balanced meals, fewer showers, and new friends. The group grew to 15, meeting weekly to share recipes and tips. A local newspaper asked to interview us for a feature on senior lifestyles. The group gathered for photos, nervous but excited. When the article came out, Sarah called, thrilled. "Mom, you all looked amazing. I'm so proud." More communities reached out wanting to start their own groups, Dr. Bennett said. "Emily, you're a model for senior care," I replied. "It all started with that dizzy spell. Your listening changed everything." Lying in bed, I marveled at how one small change rippled outward. Life at any age is full of surprises. Now I help new senior wisdom groups and speak at workshops. At 79, I'm a lecturer. Unbelievable. Ethan's paper got high marks and he's writing his thesis on senior adaptability. Today, I'm hosting a workshop in my apartment complex, senior living, health, and hygiene tips. As I prepared, I thought of the old me, convinced daily showers were non-negotiable. Now, I combine thrice weekly showers with daily partial washing. My skin's better, and dizziness is gone. About 20 neighbors attended. "I'm Emily Johnson. From the 12th floor, I began. A year ago, I showered daily. Then dizziness forced me to rethink. I shared practical tips and emphasized listening to our bodies. Questions poured in and I connected deeply with one man, Robert Miller, who struggled with hot baths. Start small, I advised, feeling like I was talking to my past self. That evening, Sarah brought dinner. "The workshop was a hit," I said. "I wish I'd seen you in action," she replied. She told me Ethan brags about me at college. "My grandma's a community leader at 79. I blushed but felt proud. "You've changed, Mom," Sarah said. "Not just habits, your mindset." I nodded. "We can change at any age." As she left, I said I'd keep speaking but hope to pass the baton to younger generations. I want our group's wisdom to live on. Looking out at the city lights, I recalled that dizzy spell. It was a gift, guiding me to a new world. Tomorrow, our group discusses the joys of aging, something the old me couldn't imagine. Life keeps opening new doors, and I'm grateful for the journey.